Good evening. Tonight we start our examination of the normalization of databases, and this is a process that we can use as we develop our database to ensure that we enter our data one time, we check it, we make sure it's correct, and then we don't have to touch that data again. Of course, the long-term goal is to have accurate data to produce accurate information for effective business decisions. So we'll look at an overview of normalization first, and then we'll look at each of the different phases of normalization. Well, normalization helps us minimize the redundancy in our databases. Redundancy is where we may store the same data more than once in several different tables. If you think back to the database from hell, we had data stored in several different tables, and to try and keep all that data updated was almost an impossibility. So using normalization, we can reduce and or eliminate those data redundancies. It also reduces data anomalies. And those anomalies relate to how we maintain the data within our database. Now, as we indicate our phases of normalization, the first normal form is written 1NF, and that's where we want to start with our data. Then we go to the second normal form, and we'll see how that is processed. And the third normal form is our goal for most commercial and business operations. We also have the Boyce Codd phase of the third normalization process, and that's kind of academic or educational view of normalization. And finally we have the fourth normal form, and that's really out there. It's very, very difficult to achieve. Let's look at our normalization in just a little bit more detail. Each table is going to reflect a single object. So when we have our normalization to the third normal form, we would expect to see each table representing a single object within our database. We're not going to store any data unnecessarily. Again, where we repeat the storage of the same data in different tables, we are more than likely to generate errors. So in the normalization process, we're going to eliminate that unnecessary storage. Non-prime attributes are going to be dependent on the primary key. Now, this is an area that we're going to get into and look at a little bit further when we talk about the second normal form. And each of the tables is going to be void of the following problems. First, insertion problems. We'll discuss that a little further. Second, update problems. And third, deletions. So all of these are data anomalies as we maintain our database that using normalization will help us correct. Next, we'll take a look at putting our data into the first normal form.